What up, people, man? We just got out of the event. Crazy night number one on Wrestlemania WWE, man. 37. Man, it just finished after a delay in the beginning. I was even delayed. 420 is on the way to El Paso right now, man. We had a bad tragedy there in that side of his life, and shouts out to you. Hopefully you get there safe and all that, man. We'll give a chance for some people to show up here in a little bit before we get right into the show, man, because it just ended and it was crazy. It was a crazy one with we just came off of Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair. Man, they just put on a nice match. Gotta say, I was kind of in and out of it, man, because I was trying to set up here, but I was watching it. Definitely, I was watching. I saw the big moments, and I definitely saw that ending, man. That ending right there it was awesome. It was awesome, man. It was like you couldn't write it any better. You know what I'm saying? With Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, man. You had it. Let me just give you the quick ending right there for those of you who didn't see it. For those of you who saw it, you know what I'm talking about. But those of you who didn't see it, man, at the very ending of this one, at the very ending of this matchup, man, a great matchup back and forth, man. Actually, there was a whole thing where Sasha Banks and see, they played this one into the story very well. Also, it was tight with, and they played it off her hair with Bianca Belair's hair, man. They did a whole thing where how Bianca Belair has the long braid, and for those who don't know, right? And throughout the whole match, Sasha Banks was countering, different moves from Bianca Belair using her hair, man, using her hair against her, man. Sorry if you see me keep looking backwards. I'm here at a public park. I gotta make sure nobody pull up on me here, man. But yeah, man, there she was pulling on her hair, man, on every chance she got, man, to do any kind of counter. For example, she tried to get her on one of her moves, and she grabbed her hair to hold on so she don't get slammed, and she almost got back flipped on while Sasha Banks was laying on the ground, and Bianca Belair was about to do a backflip on her, and Sasha Banks grabbed her hair before she got this land, and little things like that, where she was grabbing her hair and messing up a lot of Bianca Belair's moves, and they played all the way to the very end, man. It was tight because we had a scene where it had a sequence where um, Sasha Banks again goes for the hair, right? But Bianca Belair had enough of it by this time. By this time in the match, and she's like, "Give me my hair!" And she snatches her hair back from Sasha Banks's hands. They kind of wind up some kind of Bobby Lashley about to set up for a spear, which I didn't get to see tonight. But as for I'm talking about the spear, I saw the match, but anyways, and they line up very apart from each other, and then Bianca they come up at each other and boom, she flings her hair, man, her braided hair, what I'm saying, swipes right across Sasha Banks' stomach, and you hear that smack, man, and it was real loud, man. It was real loud, and then sorry guys, I've been up a little bit late, but very loud, sets up Bianca Belair for her. The KOD is what they call it, like a reverse FU or inverted FU. Shouts out John Cena. Um, but what you call it? Yeah, man, inverted FU. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Bianca Belair is your new WWE SmackDown's Women's Champion, baby. So, shouts out to all of those, man. Shouts out for a great match. Great match. Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks put on a history making. Michael Cole out there straight up saying it too right before the match. He straight up was talking about, he goes, how does he say it? He goes, first time ever you have two black women main event in WrestleMania. Man, it's just straight up saying it like that, and that was tight, man. That was tight. I kind of thought, maybe that was kind of like, damn, he just said it like that. It was kind of like messed up. But thinking about it, man, it was a proud moment, man. It was a proud moment for him to just straight up say it like that, and it was awesome, man. So the shouts out to Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for a great match, man. Shout out Sasha Banks. defeated. She's not your champion anymore for all you Sasha Banks fans. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she's going to have her chance again. She came back and she got her title. She was playing heel for a while. So we'll see what's next. And let's get into what we're going to see next. I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing we're going to see a rematch for sure. We had to have a rematch because that was just tight. That was a good back and forth. Bianca Belair really stepped up, man. I actually thought they were kind of gonna be like I kind of got a little underwhelmed, man. Whenever it started, I'm not gonna lie, and they started getting a little teary, emotional. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna be coming out all careful and slow. But to my surprise, man, Bianca Belair came out swinging, man. She came out swinging, and I don't mean literally. I'm just saying metaphorically. She came out with the energy. She didn't cut no slack. Sasha Banks, did all of the great things that she does. That match was awesome, man. The match was awesome. And a lot of nice moves in that match. A lot of things that happened in there. The quick highlights that I can remember. Sasha Banks using her little cheating ways, her Eddie Guerrero ways. You know what I'm saying? She even used at one point. She used at one point her own hair, Bianca Belair's hair. That was the other thing, and put her in a submission in her Banks into a whatchamacallit, you know what I'm saying, her submission. So damn, man, it just drew a blank right now on her move, man. The bank statement, yeah, the bank statement, I think is what it's called. And I drew a blank on that one, but used her own hair on that one. So that was crazy, man. That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's different little things that was going on. Bianca Belair, a lot of athleticism. Oh, she does this one where, she's trying, they got her whole thing that she's the EST of WWE. And I guess like she means like she's like the best in anything she does or whatever. And one of the things that she says is she's the strongest. And she showed it tonight, man. There was a one point whenever Bianca Belair is outside the ring, and Sasha Banks goes for a suicide dive, man, from the ring outside. I think it was a suicide dive, but she dives outside onto Bianca Belair. It was crazy, man. That's what it was. It was a crossbody. Bianca Belair they land, boom, Bianca Belair catches her. She lands on her back. She rolls through, gets back up, puts it on, on her hands, starts bench pressing this girl while she's standing up from in the outside of the ring, mind you, and then walks up the steps into the ring. While Sasha Banks is in the air, she had her in her hands like the Ultimate Warrior style. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But and she really proved her strength on that one. That was crazy. That was crazy, man. So that was awesome match. That was awesome match. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make this video not too long, you know what I'm saying? Just a quick little reactions because I just got through watching it and I ain't been on in the minutes of the pipeline. Dope the Muse, it's me, Dope the Muse, with all kinds of reactions, all kinds of stuff on the pipeline, joined in by everybody else who's on this channel. You know what I'm saying? But let's move on to the next, because that was a historic match. That was a historic match. You can't say enough about it. We can probably do a whole thing here about it. You know what I'm saying? But it was historic match. It was awesome match to see, actually. And they put on a badass match. I can't lie. I can't lie, man. It was tight. It started off badass from the beginning. They started off, you know what I'm saying, boom, 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 and boom, and boom, and boom. Like I was like, dang, okay, all right, this is for real. It really felt like a main event match. You know what I'm saying? So that was tight, man. So shouts out to all of them. I appreciate everybody who joined in, man. It's Dope the Music. Talking about WWE WrestleMania 37 reaction. We just talked about Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Historic match, man. Historic match. Bianca Belair did it, man. So congratulations to the newcomers. They really crowned the newcomers. They did it how it's supposed to do it. That was tight, man. So the pipeline, quick reaction on that one. That was tight on Bianca Belair. Badass match. I'd like to see it again, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do a rematch. I can see a rematch coming in the future on that one. So maybe on Raw, no, SmackDown, because that was a SmackDown one. I'm pretty sure they're gonna set up a rematch because you got to see that one more time. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, that was tight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure this one right here was not enough. They got to bring us another one. I want to see the rematch. So WWE make that happen for me, man. So if you guys want to see the rematch, y'all let me know in the comments below. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna keep on going, man, because it continues, man. Because that wasn't the only match that was awesome. We had 7 matches tonight, 7 matches, and a lot of them was tight. You know what I'm saying? They got 7 today, 7 tomorrow. I really think they have way too many. This whole 2 night thing, I'm not a fan of. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of it. Some of these matches don't deserve to be on a WrestleMania card, but I enjoyed them. They put on a good show, man. The one right before that one, the Bad Bunny, man. Let's talk about the Bad Bunny. The Bad man. This guy right here. This guy has to be like at least the best, I think, so far celebrity to come into the WrestleMania. See, I would put Pat McAfee because I saw Pat McAfee in NXT, and he's been doing some badass things, man. He's been doing. I like Pat McAfee. I like him, and he should come back more often. I think they're giving him the Lesnar treatment, where he comes in here and there. You know what I'm saying? Because he's such a special attraction or whatever, right? But Bad Bunny, he hasn't been on WrestleMania, Pat McAfee, so that's why I didn't want to include him. But Bad Bunny, John Stewart was, I think that was the last one. I think was the cool celebrity moment. I can't remember. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know in the chat or in the comments below. Who else you think was better than this performance, man? Because Bad Bunny held it down. This guy here, I'm not a fan of this guy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't listen to this guy's music. I was hating on this guy because he did a song about Booker T, and I was all like, "Oh, what's up with it, Heartbreak Kid Trent? Was good, man? Did you see WrestleMania, man? Let me know. Did you just see WrestleMania? Because we just came off of that one, man, and it was awesome, man. It was awesome. You know, we just talked about Bianca Belair and how she just took that, man, because that was the main event. Historic match, awesome match. Ready for a rematch on that one. But this Bad Bunny right now, man, we're in this Bad Bunny moment, and this guy here stepped it up, man. You know, I didn't even expect this guy to be in the ring as long as he was. First off, they did the whole thing where, you know, the hot tag, where, you know, the Damian Priest came in with the hot tag and everything. The only thing that didn't work with that one um, was the fact that nobody really knows Damian Priest like that. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't really done anything like that. You know, he had a couple of matches here and there, but, you know, since his debut, since the Royal Rumble, I think after the Royal Rumble, you know, he hasn't really done much. So when he came out with the hot tag, it didn't really hit like that to me. I don't know. It didn't really hit like that to me. The crowd wasn't really cheering, getting his back. You know, like I said, don't really know him. They don't really know him. So I get that part, but I mean, he wasn't even phased by it. But we'll get to Damian Priest. Right now I'm talking about Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny though, he held it down. Like I said, they did the hot tag thing. So Bad Bunny was in the ring most of the time. Most of the time, Bad Bunny was in this ring, and if they really paid this guy to do all this thing, he got his own pyro. That was awesome, man. He got his own pyro. I think it was like rainbow colors or whatever. Um, they paid this guy a lot of money, and they sure put him in a match, and they sure gave it to the Miz, and it wasn't even like. Granted, yes, we know, you know what I'm saying. He's a celebrity. We probably know Miz and Morrison. We'll probably any other day would probably beat him. You know what I mean? But we get that or whatever. But they actually made it. It's WWE, man. It's a show. You know what I'm saying? And they put on a good show. The way they portrayed Bad Bunny as a legitimate, you know, uh, wrestler, contender. I don't know. I don't want to say wrestler, but you know, he did some tight, man. He impressed me. That's all I could say. And he was in there throwing punches, taking slams. And then he did that one badass bunny destroyer dubbed by Booker T. You know what I'm saying? Booker T was out there doing commentary too, I guess because he was in his video or whatever. He has a song. We did no guest appearance. I don't know. He didn't have to be there really, but um, the other by Booker T called it the bunny destroyer. They did like a Spanish fly thing, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like the Adam Cole Bay move or whatever. But this fool did it on the outside of the ring, man. That was tight. He did it on who did it on? John Morrison, of course, because I think Miz probably would have messed that up, man. We all know that in wrestling, it takes two people to do the things that to make it happen. It's the person doing the move and the person receiving the move, and they both gotta sell the job badass. So John Morrison, really good job. You know what I'm saying? They did a flip, like they set him up for a pedigree. Bad Bunny was set this guy up like for a pedigree. Did the whole Adam Cole Bay thing, like this little, not a Spanish fly. What do they call it? Canadian destroyer? I forgot what they call it, man. But he did that on the outside of the ring, man. That was tight, man. And it looked clean. There was at one point when Damian Priest finally got in. We'll talk about him now. We'll talk about him a little bit because I want to say a little bit about him. But when he came in, there was a point where it was him and Bad Bunny in the ring at the same time, and they both did his Falcon Arrow, or what this guy calls it, the Broken Arrow, Damian Priest. But him and Bad Bunny did that move at the same time, and it landed badass at the same time. Because sometimes those double sequence moves at the same time. They be landed like boo boo or doo doo, all off or whatever. And sometimes that bounce messes up the rhythm for the other guy that's landing, or woman, or woman. But whatchamacallit, man, these guys were in sync, man. It was a straight bah, double same at the same time. Boom, right there, man. That was tight, man. That was tight. I gotta say, I was impressed. So shouts out to the homie Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind seeing more of you in these next things, you know what I'm saying? But I doubt it. I doubt he's gonna come back. I think it was a whole run, a whole WrestleMania run. So but we'll see. We'll see, man. I wouldn't be mad at it, man. I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't be mad at it if that happened, man. But let's talk about Damian Priest a little bit, man. Let's talk about him a little bit because it was his first WrestleMania debut. It was really, to me, his first really real match. He's had some, I think, matches, like I said, on Raw, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it was his first real presentation like that, and he did good. For his little role that he did, he didn't do much. It was more Bad Bunny, which, maybe it was deservingly so because he did do more for the company at this point in time than Damian Priest has. Hate to say it, maybe in my opinion, but he came out and he played the role nice, as the friend, as the backup, as the guy holding it down, and he looks like a good, he has the look. He looks like he has like, he looks like he's gonna be a good asset to WWE. So I'm excited to see some Damian Priest in the future, man. I hope to see more of him by himself and less of him and Bad Bunny. So I think this is, they might do a thing on Raw or something, but maybe they injure someone, new guy comes out and injures Bad Bunny, takes him out of commission for good, and Damian Priest, there goes your new beef. So that's probably what's next for them. As far as Miz and Morrison, man, I think these guys, I mean, they're doing their funny thing. They're doing their funny thing, and it's cool. I don't mind it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's what it is. It gives you a chuckle. It's a laugh. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. It's funny. But I'm ready to see some John Morrison by himself, man. When he came in, nobody really was hyped about him like that. Nobody really made a big hype about it. And the announcement wasn't really that big. And then he came over, and then he teamed up with The Miz. Who, The Miz at the time, whenever he teamed up with him, it seemed like he had already peaked. But these guys together are now doing this whole music thing, and the hey hey ho hos and the hop hops and these songs, and being cheesy and corny. And John Morrison, has embraced it, and then and they have a nice little team going, man. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, actually. But I do want to see some John Morrison by himself, man. The few matches he's had by himself, he puts on a clinic, he puts on a show, and I want to see more of that, man. I want to see him go up against some of these other guys, but it's on Raw, right? So I want to see him go up against, Drew McIntyre. Well, he has, but I just want to see some John Morrison by himself. You know what I'm saying? See what he can do. But I wouldn't matter if they stick them together, maybe go for one of the titles again, or maybe elevate the tag team division on the Raw side, That's probably what's next for them if they're not doing the breakup, But I'm ready more for the breakup so John Morrison can do his own thing. He's probably gonna be mad that they got beat by Bad Bunny, and maybe they may set some kind of tension there for something. I don't know. But that was crazy. That was a little nice little match. It actually was very entertaining. Very entertaining. At one point, I was thinking like, man, this is like a barn burner. This is the new Divas match where people just go to the restroom. You know what I'm saying, in the middle of this match or whatever. In the beginning, it felt like it, but it turned into a nice, entertaining match, man. And I'd watch it again. No lie, it has replay value, as they say. You know what I'm saying? But that was that one. Let's move on to another one, man, because other matches happened. I think right before that one was the Braun Strowman Shane McMahon cage match. That one played out like you thought. You know, if you guys know Shane McMahon, he has his tricks. So right before he was already in the ring, cage is down. Braun Strowman comes out, and right before he gets in the ring, he has Elias and Jackson Riker, I think is his name, attack Braun Strowman with a chair and all that. You know what I'm saying? So he had his little tricks. Hurt Braun Strowman, gave Shane a chair. You know what I'm saying? Now you have a hurt Strowman with a Shane McMahon with a chair inside of a cage. So y'all imagine how that went. It was pretty much standard. Shane would get the upper hand. Braun Strowman really took it to Shane, though. There was some nice slams up against the cages and throws up against the cage that he did to Shane that I liked seeing because they showed him was very strong and powerful. And Shane deserved it, man. Shane was being all stupid this and stupid that, and that's messed up, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that stuff either. Uh, it's all a show. I get it, but I mean, first of all, I didn't even like that segment. Doing that is whack. But they had to go for it, whatever. And Shane deserved it. He even did a coast to coast. You saw him do a coast to coast to Braun Strowman. Granted, he didn't really hit him in the face. I think Strowman was already like on all fours, but he hit him with a coast to coast. It was tight or whatever. I think even these guys came back, Elias and Riker came back, and there was a point where they tried to climb the cage from the outside and get in. For some reason, they didn't want to go to the door. Or I think Shane was on top and they tried to help him get down or something like that. And as they were mid cage, right, mid on the way up there, Braun Strowman, boom, slams up against the wall, knocks those guys out. That was a nice scene. Of course, Shane. If you get Shane at WrestleMania, you already know that equals crazy stunt. And again, another crazy stunt by Shane. And you get it at one point at the end, pretty much, where Shane is trying to get out the ring. He's trying to get out the cage. He's climbing the cage. He gets to the top. Braun Strowman catches up to this guy, man. Oh, there was another scene I'll talk about right now. That was also a nice little highlight. Braun Strowman. Oh, excuse me. Braun Strowman gets up there, man. I thought it was gonna be a power slam because Braun Strowman gets to the top of the cage and stands on the top of the cage. Now, he didn't just sit on it. He stood on top of the cage, man. Was holding on to the ropes, you know what I'm saying? The things that, that bring down the cage or whatever in the corners. He's holding on to that, standing on the cage, and I'm thinking he's gonna pick up Shane and do a power slam from the top, but they do this thing where he ends up picking up Shane on his feet, so they're both standing on the cage. Braun Strowman's hanging on to the ropes thing, right, the corner thing, and then kind of pretty much choke slams him or throws him, however you want to show it, however you want to put it. But with one hand, boom, chunks Shane McMahon from the top to the bottom. Shane does like a front flip, lands on his back from the top of the cage, boom, onto the mat. Not to the outside, to the ring mat. The ring mat. Damn, if it was to the outside, then that would have been even crazy because this guy landed right on his back, man. Just boom, like one of those lands whenever people try to do a dive into the pool and they land back first. Boom, when you hear that smack. Golly, man, that's what Shane was doing right. That's how he landed from that top, man. He was out, man. He was out. I think Braun Strowman came down and pinned him or went for a he went for the power slam. Came down, picked him up, power slammed him. One, two, three. Nobody climbed out the cage. Braun Strowman got his victory. He even had a whole thing where I'm doing it for everybody. Oh, everybody who's been caught stupid. So he did it for y'all guys. But anyways, man, that was a crazy little match. Oh, the other part that I was gonna say was there was a point where it was weird, but it was tight, and I'll explain why. Because Shane McMahon was again trying to climb the top. I don't understand why in these cage. It's a little side note. I don't understand why these cage matches have the door, because I will just always go for the door. You know what I mean? But they should take that out completely. I like the going over the top of the cage to get out. But Shane, you got Shane already on the other side of the cage, man. He's already on the other side of the cage. All he pretty much used to do is just let go. And for a guy like Shane who does these crazy stunts, that should be easy just to let go and fall like 6 feet. You know what I mean? 6, 7 feet probably. It's nothing for Shane. Maybe for me, but not for Shane. Especially the bump he took after that. But there's a point where he's hanging on. He's hanging onto the side of the cage on the outside of the cage. Like I said, he's just all he needs to do is just let go and he wins and drops to the floor. But Braun Strowman grabs his hands from the inside of the cage through the little triangle things, is holding them, so preventing them from letting go. And then Strowman rips the cage, man, the mesh, what they call it, the mesh, rips the mesh off the bars, the structure of the cage itself, man. Just grah, 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 grah. Right there where Shane was hanging on, boom, takes it off the corner, drags him in. So you got the whole inside. Now you got a whole window of the cage match. Now you got a door. Now you got a cage. They call it, really should call it a cage house. The way he made it look after that, but crazy, man. I think after that he brought him in, and I think he just like threw him inside. He didn't really do nothing crazy. He just kind of threw him inside or whatever. But that was a crazy little match. Braun Strowman got the win. He had his moment. Finally, Braun Strowman had a moment, a WrestleMania moment, deservingly so. A lot of people had their moments, man, today, which was awesome, man. Um, you had Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks with their moment. Obviously, that's an obvious moment. But you had the Bad Bunny and the Damian Priest. They had their little moment. Bad Bunny finally making his dreams come true, I guess. And you had this Braun Strowman finally getting the moment, what I'm saying, for himself. He's a guy that's been in the wrestling thing for a minute, and especially with WWE, and he hasn't had a big moment at WrestleMania. A guy that deserves a lot more, you know what I mean? But for whatever reason, they don't use him. I'm hoping that he moves on from something like this. I'm glad they gave him a spot, even if it had to be Shane. But he deserves a better shot. I don't know. I don't know. I want to see him have a better run with title. Give him the Drew McIntyre, run. But so hopefully he moves on to something crazy on Raw coming up on Monday, man. But another moment that was tight was I'll tell you right now, the tag team turmoil, the girls tag team, I wasn't a big fan of. It was pretty weak. It looked like the girls haven't really practiced that good, or they haven't really rehearsed together that good. You know what I'm saying? I was impressed with a couple of things, but the winners of that one, Tamina and Natalia, they went through a tag team turmoil versus four other teams. They came out last, so it was easier for them to dominate. I guess that's like a heel thing, not sure. So they get the advantage. They get the chance to face Nia Jax and Shayna tomorrow, which we're gonna watch tomorrow for sure, for the tag team titles, the women's tag team titles. And this might be where Nia Jax and Shayna, they finally drop these titles. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been having it, and I like that team. I like that team. That was the best women's tag team that we've seen next to the Iconics. After the Bella Twins that showed up. Um, but the Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler, that was a badass team. That was a badass team. I wish they got away from the with we don't like each other, and actually went with, they finally got along, and they just dominated together. But we'll see what happens maybe in the future. But I'm hoping that we get a Nia Tamina and a Natalia run. I want to see them because they deserve it. They're legends in their own right. You know what I'm saying? And they need to have more exposure, man. I want to see Tamina and I want to see Natalia and I want to see them have titles and I want to see them win matches, win title matches, defend, successfully defend title matches. I want to see that. I want to see them on a run too. So that's going. I want to make that happen for me, WWE. You know, but the whole match itself was very lackluster. Lana, Naomi, whack. Ruby Riot, the Riot Squad, whack. And they're even more whack because they're almost just as they're like slightly above Lana and Naomi, and that's been a team for a little bit. And the Riot Squad, they've been together for a while, and they still can't seem to get over to the next level, man. You had the Mandy Rose and Mandy Rose and what's her face, Dana Brooke, man. Mandy Rose, man. I don't know what it is with you. You get bad luck, but you had bad luck today. You had bad luck in the last one when you tried to do the worm for Otis, and it came out like he was doing the backwards worm. He could never go forward because you kept doing the backwards worm. That would look funny. And then today you fell walking down the ramp. Man, Mandy Rose, you know what I'm saying? You look cool. You look cool. So if he was cool, you know what I'm saying? I hope that, you get no hard feelings. But that was funny, man. That was funny. That was hilarious, man. That was hilarious. She fell. Whatever, man. She got up and she owned. Actually, it was tight because she got up and then she got in the ring and then knocked the hell out of Ruby Riott with a knee. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. She's probably clumsy. I don't know. But shouts out to Mandy, man, for holding it down. You get embarrassed, but you still hold it in there. And you put a little performance there. So, but I like that team too. That team's coming together. I wish they're not doing the blonde thing with the pink. The whole looking alike. I wish they don't do that, but I like the whole. I like with the muscles and this health. And they look like they're strong, aggressive people. Um, who else was in that match? The Billy Kay and the Carmella was, whatever. They suck. They're nothing cool. But Tamina, Natalia, can't wait to see y'all go up against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Hopefully y'all get the titles, man. You had Cesaro and Seth Rollins. Now this match was tight. Cesaro and Seth Rollins was tight, man. That one has replay value for sure. That one is badass. That one y'all need to go check that one out. You had counters, badass counters. You had debuts of new different moves. You had Seth Rollins debuting a new move, a corkscrew splash. So like he does a corkscrew in the air splash. Cesaro breaks the record swinging. I need to check that one. That was a simple match. It wasn't a big story. One of those that didn't deserve to be on WrestleMania, but was because they really gave a badass match, badass performance, and Cesaro got his moment, man. Cesaro finally got a WrestleMania moment, so that was tight, and that was a badass match. One of the better matches of the night. I can't really say much to it because there was nothing really much revolving around it, but they just fought it out. And it was badass one-on-one. So shouts out to Cesaro. Shouts out to Seth Rollins. Badass match. Just proves that you don't even need big stories sometimes to put on a badass match. So that was a badass match. And I want to see that again. I want to see maybe another main event. Another match and then another pay-per-view. Those are tight, but I think we want to round out with who else do we have on there? We already did Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks. We did Miz and Bad Bunny. We did the tag team turmoil. We did Braun Strowman and Shane. We did Seth Rollins, Cesaro. We did who am I missing? Because I know we got the Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. I know that's one of them right there. That was the first match of the night, man. First match of the night. Oh, the AJ Styles and almost AJ Styles and almost. Uh, they are your new Raw Tag Team Champs. That's this is tight. This is tight, man, because I'm ready to see new tag team champs. AJ Styles and Amos. Um, I think it's gonna be a tight tag team. It's gonna be dominant. You got AJ Styles who's badass, and you got Amos who looked. It was very dominant, man. Very dominant. At the end, they did this whole thing where the New Day was pretty much not letting AJ tag in the whole match. Beat him up, beat him up, beat him up. That went on for a while until Amos finally came in and took it to the New Day, man. So that was tight. That was tight. Big moves, big splashes, big smashes, big slams. Shouts out to the New Day because they still put on a badass show, man. Kofi doing a pancake on AJ Styles. That was crazy. That was crazy, man. Xavier Woods still holding it down, man. But these guys here, I like it. You know what I'm saying? That was tight. I'm ready to see that. See what they do. See what the run they got. You know, if it's long or if it's short, but I'm ready to see them do attacks. I'm ready to see more of a most. I'm ready to see more of a most. So hopefully, almost we see more of you, man. But last but not least, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, man. What can we say about this one, man? This match here was crazy. This match here was tight. This match was badass. Tell you right now, Bobby Lashley won. Bobby Lashley won. But and there was a lot of people in the building that were kind of like, "Damn, what?" Because a lot of people expected Drew McIntyre to win. They expected him to get his moment, um, because last year when he beat Brock Lesnar, he didn't have that moment. There was no fans. And he won the title and he didn't have that moment. But in this year, everybody thought he was going to get it. But I, for one, was happy that they went with the Bobby Lashley having his moment because he deserved a moment, man. He hadn't even got it yet, you know. It's just only fair. Drew McIntyre at least had his moment last year, even though there was no fans. But if he would have got his moment this year, that means Bobby Lashley still wouldn't have had his moment. And now Drew McIntyre has two moments, So it was just only fair that that Bobby Lashley got it. I was actually rooting for Bobby Lashley. A lot of people, and they set it up like Drew McIntyre was going to win. They really beat each other up, fellas. That match you got to go watch is the very first match of the night. They opened it up. People reacted like they wanted, you know, they reacted to the end. People wanted Drew McIntyre. But we got Bobby Lashley, man. The almighty era. So shouts out to Bobby Lashley, man. Finally, we got, I don't know, for a long time, I think there was this narrative, or maybe it was true, I don't know. But there was this thing where there wasn't a lot of black people as champs, man. There wasn't. And if you're black, if you're African, if you're black, if you're that race, I don't know what the politically correct way to say it. I'm not trying to be racist at all. But if you're black or African, like I'm saying, that was a whole thing for a while. I think they said that they never really had ever black champions at all. And then if they did, they ain't gonna main event WrestleMania. And today, not only was the Bianca Belair historic and the Sasha Banks historic, but the Bobby Lashley match was historic as well. And I give you why, because if you're black and if you're African American, if you're black American, or if you're from that descent, half, however you want to talk about it, you should be very proud today, man, because not only did you have two. I mean, not only did you have one black person main event and with Bianca Belair, but you had Bobby Lashley as well, man. You had Bobby Lashley as well. Two African American, Black Americans, Black people that are there, and they came out on top. And if this was any other WrestleMania, those would have been the two matches at the end. You would have had a Bobby Lashley match winning the title, and then Bianca Belair winning her title. And you would have had two black people winning WrestleMania main events, WWE Championship Gold. Now that's history, man. That's some history for your ass. That's some damn history, and I'm proud of it, man. I'm proud to witness it. Proud to be somebody who's seen this happen, man. I was tight. I can say with my eyes that I seen it happen, and they were badass matches, both of them. Both of those matches were badass. So, shout out to everybody, man. Today over there at WWE. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to the staff, and because there was a rainstorm that delayed the whole show from the get go. Um, but they got it on track, and it all went off without any problems, man. Pretty for the most part, I think. But historic ass WrestleMania. Two black champions, man. That's something to be trending. You know what I'm saying? I need to get that thing trending. Bobby Lashley and Bianca Belair, man. That's something to be proud of, man. If you're of that race or if you're related in any way, I can't. I know I'm Mexican, so I'm with the Eddie Guerreros and stuff, but I'm a big fan, man. Bobby Lashley was a fan of his, is a fan of his, am a fan of his. Bianca Belair, big fan of hers. Badass night one for WrestleMania, and that's what it is. It's just night one. We still got night number two, man. So comment down below, comment in the chat, comment somewhere, man. Put on what your favorite match of the night was. I think mine was a Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. I think I'm gonna go with that one because even though the other ones are historic and they were badass matches, I just was more entertained for some reason by the Cesaro and Seth Rollins um, match, and it wasn't even for no titles. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to take away nothing away from those because those were badass matches. Both of them were badass matches. The Bianca Belair and the Bobby Lashley match. But night two is tomorrow, fellas. Night two. And I'm going to do another immediate reactions, man, to that one as well. We got 7 more matches. They already announced them there. They announced WrestleMania next year. They had a badass WrestleMania 38 promo for next year here in Dallas, Texas, which I'm going to be there. So make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like somewhere on there and wherever your buttons are at. Check the notifications as well so you know when that video drops because I'm going to be going live, showing people there the event, the scene, the atmosphere, me getting drunk, me getting crazy, whatever, right? So I enjoy that, man. Enjoy those videos coming out soon. Enjoy the videos on the channel. Check it out. We got other reaction videos, other things we talk about. For you WWE fans, check the playlist. We got WWE talks, other things, not just WWE reactions. So y'all check all that out, man. It's dope the muse, man. I'm finna get up out of here because it's late and I'm tired and it's WrestleMania weekend and we got to get ready for tomorrow because it continues tomorrow for some more action WWE style, man. So I'm ready for this. I'm ready for that. And I can't wait for for it to come to pass, man. Tomorrow been another historic match. You got the Oscar and you got the Rhea Ripley, which is not as historic as this women's match that happened tonight. But the main historic one is the triple threat: the Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan. 3 guys, fellas. 3 guys that at one point in the not too distant past, we're not even gonna wrestle anymore. We're not gonna wrestle at all. And now they're main eventing WrestleMania and go out and they're all going for the title. So that's another historic moment, man. We'll be there for that. When we'll be back here again for another media reactions, man. So we'll check all that out, man. So y'all appreciate everybody showing up for showing out here in the chat room and everything. Y'all hit y'all likes and everything, man. We'll be back again tomorrow, man, for the next edition of night 2 of WrestleMania 37, on the way to WrestleMania 38 next year here in Dallas, Texas, baby. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe, man. I'll be back again tomorrow, man. Make sure y'all put down y'all's comments of today's. Any botches, anything I missed, y'all let me know, man. So we'll see. You know I'm gonna respond to them. So we'll see what's up later, fellas. Peace.